Oh, look, it's somebody with an opinion. All right, look, so to take all the suspense out of it, this is not me necessarily taking any side. Me personally, I'm not really leaning towards one or the other. I will say that if you are a part of the rioting and the looting and all these things, be safe. Know why you are doing these things because it's much more than getting something free. All right. Not too long ago, I didn't really understand, even as a black man, why you thought it was good to destroy property. And even still, I have some reservations because what I've found with recent riots is that, and I don't mean to laugh or make light of this, is that black business owners have had their property destroyed, and that's got to be pretty tough. And even thinking about some of the non-blacks, if I can, for a while, who were probably also protesting. Now, when it comes to rioting and looting, everybody ties this back to the earlier settlers of the world, the people who discovered America. And if you can't see my hands, air quotes, and say, look, y'all started this shit, which is true. Definitely started this shit. And well, here you go. Now it's happening on a mass scale. It's happening all over. Once again, businesses being destroyed. Hope you got insurance and all this and that. But earlier I was talking about, understand like why you are doing these things. Because also, I mean, at the end of the day, I still believe in karma. And I'm not one to say, okay, I'm doing this thing as a karma to you. I'm thinking about my actions and what that may bring about to me. All right. So before people call me a goddamn Uncle Tom, I'm on the FBI watch list. All right, flat out. If you, I mean, you want proof? I mean, I had the Homeland Security come for me because I threatened the FBI. Didn't know shit was this was like less than a month ago, but it was before any of this happened. And to be honest with you, when I see all of this, it just has me thinking that wow, we really need the Black Panther Party at a time like this, organized and strapped, organized and strapped. Because I feel like because it's kind of yeah, the people are rioting and things like that. Power to the people. But I just want to imagine like how that would go if the people were strapped. You know what I'm saying? When you have the police all across America in these riots, they in fact they didn't start off as riots. By the way, they were provoked. These people were provoked by the police officers throwing tear gas, baiting these people. Also, I'm hearing word, and I'm getting some pictures, some videos that there are undercover cops in these riots. Help keeping it going, and it's also been proven in history's past. I don't have no reason to believe anything different is happening right now. That people were paid to start riots. People who look out of place starting some shit, and people are, well, what can I say? People are followers, so they follow. And boom, you get this going. Now we got the military involved. Now we got the police, acting like the military. Sounds like it could really open up the gates for martial law. I don't know. Actually, I didn't even mean to go this deep or even, take all of these side roads. I just wanted to talk about what I thought about the rioting and looting in general. And actually what I think about protesting, because I never thought protesting alone was enough. I actually think rioting and looting is more effective than just protesting, we shall overcome, write these, sing songs, dance, kumbaya, hug the police. I actually think that to be constructive sometimes you gotta be destructive. Okay? So that's just coming from somebody who used to work in construction. All right. But me personally, protest with your pockets. You know what I'm saying? And this has nothing to do with the rioting, and this is more so about the protesting right now. Protest with your pockets. Also, pay close attention to how everybody who you admired and who you funded, pay close attention to how they responded to something like this. Also, who would you become, you know, during a time like this as a result of this? Me personally, and I'm gonna get back to that. Hopefully, I remember. There are, I'm in Maryland. There are protests going on in D.C. and things like that. I won't be a part of it. Simply put, I really have nothing to offer. I really don't. And when things turn up and things catch on fire, whatever, I mean, I have no business there. And like I said, because I don't. I mean, I'm on the watch list, so I don't know if they're tracking my phone everywhere I go. But I don't want to get caught up in that just simply because if I get caught up, I don't know what's going to happen to me. All right, I was one gun in the house away from going away. You know what I'm saying? So I have to operate in a different way. Now I'm not going to. Obviously, I'm not going to telegraph what I'm going to do because I don't know who's watching. But what I can say is that for anybody who doesn't necessarily see the point in protesting and rioting and looting, what I'm going to do is, and it's kind of a cliche, but what a lot of us should do is that when we find time by ourselves, we really need to look within. We need to catch on to what the sign of the times are telling us. And is that the people know that we've been lied to, we've been deceived, we've been betrayed for far too long. Far too long. We don't know who to believe, we don't know who to trust. And at times where you can't trust the people who are supposed to protect you, you take things into your own hands. So where do we go from there? If there are always going to be police, maybe this is the birth of the honest cop. Maybe. And I'm not saying cops who are cops become honest, but some of you older guys, some of you guys who are of age, do you decide to put on the gun and badge so you can make a difference? I don't know. How much of a difference can you make when you join an alliance like that? You could be teaming up with a lot of clan members. You know what I'm saying? Because when they take that robe off, they put on a badge. Make no mistake about it. All right? It's interesting. Because I earlier in the video, I was actually talking about how we could use the Black Panther Party at a time like this. And I'm always quickly reminded, as a follow-up thought, is that how the Black Panther Party was compared to the KKK. When the Black Panther Party brought organizations, they brought programs to this country that wasn't here before, like the breakfast program. All right, which a lot of white people helped fund. So you that right there alone is a big difference. The other side, the KKK, they tortured us. They terrorized us. They hunted us. They did it with the robe on. They did it with the badge on, and it's still happening. All right. They got more intricate, methodical. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to carry things the way they used to. All right. And the police are, they're always protected. They do things they get away from. I mean, they get away with it. You know what I'm saying? No police officer is really getting, there's no examples being made. All right, and there's a good reason for that. All right, you know the reasons. You see the government. You see who's in power. Which brings me to another statement. Some of you guys, I don't know if it's gonna be me. I don't think I'll be able to be honest with you. Not really all that interested. But some of you people who want to make a difference, some of you should consider becoming lawyers, judges, rise among the ranks, and FBI, whatever it is, whatever you got to do to get your hands on some power. All right. I will tell you one thing that I'm doing to get myself some power, because it's one thing that I've found is to be very powerful, and like a lot of us, are resources. You got resources, you got power. All right. Resources is what keeps the police protecting the government and not you. All right. Just like the dope dealers would keep police in their pocket because they had the money. That's what's happening in the government. All right. If you can pay somebody to protect you, you will always find a suitor. You can always find an employee. We gotta acquire the resources. We gotta find a way to put it together. All right. Even if it means you gotta keep your enemies close. I mean, it's always recommended to keep your enemies close. You know what I'm saying? I never really understood what that meant when I was a child, to hear that. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. It's easy, but now I understand that wholeheartedly. It's so you can watch their moves. Bonus points if you can convince them that you're one of them. So a little good news is that I believe that is happening now. I'm not going to drop any names because I don't want to expose anybody. But there are some people who are fighting for us who are brushing shoulders with the enemy. All right. Now, at face value, you would find that hard to believe. But after what I just told you, and it's the art of war. A big part of the art of war is deception. Just like people deceive us, there are people who are deceiving the ones deceiving us, playing their hand, waiting for an opening to take them out, to take them down. Now, I can't tell you when things are going to take place. This year seems like a very great time, so don't be surprised, all right? Because when there's a lot of chaos, a lot of action takes place. And that works both ways, my friends. It works both ways. It's just we've been through so much pain. We're so used to looking for the negatives. How can we see beyond that? All right. I mean, I could really go on and on with this subject, but the bottom line is I'm not against rioting and looting, but if it's not worth you losing your freedom over, then don't do it. All right? But by all means, have at it, because as a black man, I know pain. All right? I come from a long line of it. And so I understand the frustration where you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You've tried everything. You try to be peaceful. Sitting back didn't do anything for you. Well wishes didn't do anything for you. What do? So you seem to be making things happen this way. Let's see what's to come of it. Let's see where we can go from there. We can't just burn the whole world to the ground for the rest of our lives. Naturally, we got to get to the point where we start thinking about what we're going to do next. And I think that we will find a way to get there. It's just going to require a level of thinking that, in which we are unaccustomed to. All right. And, this is kind of a candid conversation. I will, as I've been holding my daughter's pencil, I will sit down and brainstorm and think about how we can actually make this world a better place, safer for our children and things like that. And I think you'd be surprised some of the things that are going on behind the scenes uh, for the betterment of our society. I know it's hard to believe. It's hard to even imagine with all these things going on. And I also did touch on something that I think is really powerful, is that if you truly want to make a difference, it may require you to dance with the devils. All right? Because the devil is deceptive Learn how to play the devil's game to deceive the devils. All right, best wishes.